การท่องเที่ยวสุดค้นหัวลุกในโกดังร้างแห่งหนึ่งย่านจังหวัดชลบุรี
พอยต์นะครับก็จะถ่ายทอดสดเช่นกันนะครับติดตาม
เอเชียนเกม 2000
will go top. Asian Games football tournament that started at the weekend. And that will come to a conclusion towards the end of the games in just over 2 weeks' time. The anticipation has been building for a number of hours. And there'll be no shortage of support as Indonesia are ready to emerge into the centre of this Patriot Stadium in Bekasi, West Java, just outside of Jakarta. Well, I'm Rob Hatch, Adam Virgo's alongside me, and tonight a big moment for the home side, Adam. They want to get off on the right foot, a chance to go top, and a chance to really put one foot into the next round.
Yeah, most certainly. I think this is a game that they can certainly really push forward, and both sides love to play on the counter-attack. I think that Palestina are sort of a little bit more direct in their way, but there's pace in the final third for Indonesia. They had to be patient to get their first win of this competition, but they were coming to The home crowd has certainly urged them on. Some of the crowds have been slightly disappointed in this tournament, but you can't really complain tonight.
Well, the arms are up in the air. Young and old, they've come to watch the young Garuda. And Indonesia cheered on by several thousand supporters this evening. They'll play in their own red jerseys. Palestine will be playing in white tonight. It's been a long jersey from the Middle East all the way to Southeast Asia for Palestine. But it's been a worthy one so far. 4 points from their first 2 games. And a team that reached the last 16 of the AFC Under-23 tournament last year before losing to their neighbours from Qatar. So both teams out on the pitch. The next thing you'll hear will be the national anthems of both nations.
Please stand for the anthem of Palestine. Hadirin sekalian, lagu kebangsaan. Dari Palestina dimohon berdiri. Rise and stand for the anthem of Indonesia. Hadirin sekalian, lagu kebangsaan Indonesia.
One of the most diverse nations on the planet unites behind its national football team. Indonesia, the bronze medalists in 1958. They've also finished fourth on 2 occasions. Most recently, though, all the way back in 1986 when Kuwait beat them to the final spot on the podium. Tonight they face Palestine, who've only once made it out of the group stage. A 14th place last time out was their best. Well, the coaches from Spain, Luis Milla, promised that he'd rotate, and he's made 4 changes from the side that won 4-0 the other night against Chinese Taipei. Hargianto comes into the side, as does David Maulana. A couple of players in danger of niffing the next match if they're booked. One of those is the goalkeeper Andriatini Arhiyasa. 9 players available from the substitutes bench too, including Brazilian naturalised striker Beto, who's been feeling a thigh strain for the last couple of days. Well, the officials today come from Sri Lanka, Korea, Malaysia and India. The referee is Nivon Robesh Gamini. He's assisted by Sanjiwa Welbada, Mora Aung and Kim Dae-yong. 4th official hails from the Republic of Korea. 2 captains to meet in the centre. And then you're looking at on the right-hand side is the man who scored the 95th minute winner the other day. Abdelatif Al-Badari, 34 years of age and one of the 3 overage players. He stays in the side, but there are 2 changes for Palestine. In come Darwish and Farawi, replacing Al-Sharif and Ubaid, as Palestine look to take a 2nd win of the tournament in this their 3rd match. Well, the players dropping to the bench, of course. Al-Sharif, the defender, 21 years of age, plays in German football, in danger of missing the next match if booked, so he's been protected. And Mohamed Obay, the youngest player in their squad, at just 19 years of age. Well, it's a long group stage for these teams in Pool A. 5 teams in there as we look at Stefano Lillipali, born in the Netherlands in Arnhem. Indonesian father and a Dutch mother. He's played in the Dutch 1st and 2nd tier. He's also played some football in Japan. 2 goals the other night for the 28-year-old. There's Abdel Atif Al-Badari, who's the main man, as we said, for Palestine. The captain, the experienced man, comes from Gaza. He's played abroad in Iraq, Jordan, Saudi Arabia and Egypt. There's the 2 coaches say hello, and there's Luis Milla on the right-hand side. He hasn't got a bad CV at all. Real Madrid, Barcelona, Valencia. So kicking from left to right as we look at it. Indonesia at home to Palestine in their white jerseys on the right-hand side. And I guess, Adam, for Palestine, it's trying to weather the inevitable early storm.
They will do. Listen, though, the home crowd really getting behind them. So for them to play on the counter-attack, first 15 minutes is to try and not make any mistakes, keep a solid base, try and play on the counter-attack. But Stefano Lillipali will be a player that you'll certainly have to look out for.
He's the man wearing number 10. Playing up top, right in the centre there, and in the centre of your shot.
He's a player that's good, trying to pick up some good positions. Harry Gari is another player as well. Decent on the ball.
Here's Adsit, one of those players who's come into the side. 4 changes, as we said, they've made tonight. Game's been played in testing conditions as well, and anybody physically who might be feeling it, such as the 37-year-old Beto, born in Brazil in Belém, scored the other night. Luis Milla giving him a rest tonight.
Yeah, I mean, there's games coming in quick succession. Chinese Taipei played, that's their 3rd game now in 6 days that they've played, and they got found out in their last game.
Put away by Al-Badari there. Chance to get the ball down for the first time. This is Zulfiandi, 23-year-old midfielder for Indonesia. These who haven't had a good recent record in these games, but back in the day have been on the podium. In the 1950s when the game started. In 51, remember, we had the first Asian Games in New Delhi in India when they won the football tournament. India 2 times winners and haven't even sent a team this time. Early touches for the Indonesian centre-halves. This is Pranata. Number 13 is Haryadi, the 22-year-old. Fiandi again on the left-hand side. Last time we look to settle down. Mahmoud Abu Warda, 23-year-old. For them it will be about trying to settle in, and they do have a physical style. Plenty of balls in the air. Central and Eastern Asian styles have traditionally been more about technique and passing the ball to feet. And there's the man that they all rallied around as soon as he put the ball in the back of the net with his head the other night. It was 2 headers in the last 10 minutes that changed things.
They're very frustrated against Chinese Taipei in the first game, where they created so many chances and couldn't find the back of the net. They had to be patient to get their win in their last game.
Plenty of shots on goal in their first 2 matches. At least 20 shots on goal in each of their first 2 matches. And no goals to show for it in that first match against Laos. As there's the first foul of the match. Gavin Kwan taken down to yellow card straight away. Huge protestations from Al-Badari, who has to be careful, the captain, because he's on a booking himself. And that's Mohamed Rashid, who's the first man in the referee.
A couple of challenges early on. Fairly solid. I don't think that's a yellow card. I don't even think that's a foul, to be honest. He's won the ball. It's just sometimes the referee just looks at the follow-through, but I can't see too much wrong with that. He's a player that likes to get really stuck in. So he needs to be walking a tightrope now.
We did talk about their physical style, and there's the first evidence of that. Rashid into the book after just 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Free kick to be swung in. It's an easy header away this time for Rashid. Up against a team that's so good in the air, you want good delivery from your set pieces. This is Darwish, man who's just come into the team as well to find Dabah. It's a decent ball in, shot gets away and it's wide from Abu Warda.
It's great play, playing on the counter-attack, just get caught at the back. Indonesia, just see the number of white shirts there going through. Great midfield run, just always going away from the post, but talk about them playing on the counter-attack, having a solid base. Certainly real emphasis there. Be disappointed he didn't hit the target though.
Away well, 5 white shirts you were talking about in the final third there. Quick transition, fit team. And you have to be in these conditions. It's 30 degrees at 7 o'clock at night. Header won by Zulfiandi. This now is Maraba, 26-year-old, one of the 3 overage players, as Katmash puts it back to Al-Badari. 50 senior caps too, as well as playing with the under-23s. 7 goals for the centre-half. Dabah, the big number 9. Second youngest player in the squad. Involved already a couple of times in the first 5 minutes. Pranata for Indonesia. Finds Saputra, who's playing at the back with him. Pranata, by the way, is the captain. Just the 1 goal in his 23 caps. His responsibility lies at the back. This is Adsit now. Decent interception and an Indonesian throw.
He just caught his knee on the surface. Katmish when he went in for that challenge. It's been a fairly decent start to the game from both sides.
Nice and lively, as you might expect with the crowd, nice and loud too. Throw into the box. Gavin Kwan waiting for the ball. In the end, he's not going to get it back. It's a waste. Chance for Palestine to break. We saw what they could do just a moment ago. Abu Warda's ball out wide. As Dabah through the centre, the number 9. He's just to the right-hand side here. He'll get the ball now. Abu Warda in the centre. The ball doesn't quite reach him. It'll be a Palestinian corner.
Well, they're getting forward in numbers really well. Be careful, Indonesia, just don't get caught outnumbered at the back. They've already had 1 opportunity that they've been caught from that. Sometimes get a little bit excited and throw bodies forward. So you have to be the emphasis of actually keeping players behind and watching that counter-attack, but Palestine have done it very well.
The big number 5 going forward. Scored the other day as Mahmoud Abu Warda is to take this left-footed. Swings it in, looking for the defender. And it is the captain, Al-Badari, who puts it over.
Big opportunity. It's a quality ball in.
all on his own as well.
He wasn't really the best defending. Prin Arthur.
Well, it certainly has to go down as one of two big chances now to hit the target where they failed. There's Ayman Sanduka, the coach. Indonesia might feel they've been let off so far.
Yeah, certainly haven't started as well as I thought they may have done.
Chance to put the ball forward from Saputra. It will be a Palestine goal kick, be taken by Rami Hamada. Choosing to play this out from the back. Both sides have had good starts to their Group A campaign. No room for complacency though, having to play 4 matches as we were talking about. It's a difficult physical proposition with 25 teams in this tournament. Matches coming in quick succession and a tournament that's less than 3 weeks long.
You can clearly see already with the amount of games that the managers have had that they have to rotate their squads.
Is Rashid trying to put the ball through to Dabach. And pulls out wide. The body's waiting in the centre. Header came in there from Maraba.
Just got a little call from Mohamed Darwish just behind him. He was free for him just to leave it. But they've set the tempo out really well, Palestine. Really have.
A lot of talk in the previews before the match about Indonesian solidarity with their Palestinian brothers, and you've got some of the Indonesian fans waving Palestine flags. It's a superb atmosphere in here tonight in the Patriot Stadium. As we're approaching 10 minutes gone, it's the hosts who will feel they need to wake up a little. There's Al-Badari, goalkeeper not faced. In the end, finding one of his own shirts. Given away then. Chance here now as Maulana goes forward. 2 bodies waiting in the centre, one of whom is their big number 18, Jaya.
It's a good little play there, Harry just that little give and go. Spacing behind. A few times this tournament now, the final ball's not been good enough.
There's Luis Milla, 52-year-old from Spain. Talked about his playing experience with Barcelona, where he started, Real Madrid and Valencia, where he finished. Appearing in 2 Champions League finals towards the end of his career. The losing side both times though. Now fighting for the ball up the top there, Dabach. Indonesian defenders claiming handball. At the end, it's the decision they get. Ten minutes gone. Indonesia 0, Palestine 0 in Group A at the Asian Games. There's the Indonesian captain, and Samuyama Pranata. Palestine bringing the ball out from the back. There's Farawi, one of the 2 changes made to the team tonight. Finds Maraba. Rashid, who's the first player to go in the book this evening. Darwish has found space on that left-hand side when Palestine have managed to get forward. There's confirmation of the fact there's no score so far. This is Katnish. Dabach. Twisting and turning, trying to hold the ball up, but 3 red shirts quickly around him.
They've done really well. Goes to turn centre forward, just don't let him turn. Try and get tight to him, and then if the defender gets tight, doesn't let him turn the midfielder, then just come and try and take it off his toes. Keeping the ball really well, Palestine, looking to try and switch players as quickly as possible.
Palestinian free kick then. This is Ahmed Katmish over it. In the end, he'll defer to Mohamed Darwish. Plays in the German 5th tier for Arminia Hanover. His teammate who's been dropped to the bench tonight, Al Sharif, plays up in the north of Germany with him. This Darwish's free kick, aimed in at the far post. There are 3 red shirts as a shot comes in, and it was off the feet of Abu Warda. and straight into the hands of the goalkeeper, Ardiasa.
They've done really well, edge of the box, winning those second balls. That's what you need to do. Don't always have to win that first header, but you make sure you're on the front foot afterwards. Decent attempt from him there, got a good strike on goal.
That's their first shot on target after the early decent openings. We've seen with some of the goalkeeping levels in this tournament so far that if you don't ask, you don't get. You might as well have a try.
Yeah.
Zulfiandi. Looking for space in the middle of the park, and there's not much of it. Palestine pressing well there. Manini finds the goalkeeper. There's another of their players who plies his trade away from Palestine. He plays in Sweden. Represents AFC Eskilstuna. Al-Badari, who finds himself in Egypt at the moment. Daba and the rest will chase, but that'll be easy for the keeper.
It's a ball they do use quite a lot though. All over the top, sit a bit more on the diagonal, so you can't go through to the goalkeeper. So many times now I've seen the way their pitches are, the ball does hold up in that final third.
Such a difficult climate for the groundsman to get it right here. Hot, they do get rain, but when they get it, it pours. Full ball from Gavin Kwan. Kwan adds it. Approaching the end of the first quarter of an hour. This is Dabach now. We just saw Ayman Sanduka. I think he'll be pretty pleased with how Palestine have started. This is Jaya now. Keeps the ball on this right hand side. It's a nice ball inside. Pani trying to get the ball back, but in the end it doesn't reach him. It was Hargianto who couldn't find him. There's the diagonal ball to Yusuf. Twisting, turning, has options in the centre, one of whom is Daba. They appeal for handball, they'll get it. It's a penalty to Palestine. And Zulfiandi is penalised. Just under 15 minutes gone. This is the incident again.
It's an awful decision. It's the referee that's given it, and he's behind. The linesman can see it on that side.
Don't think it touches his hands, does it?
It's a really poor decision. What makes it worse is that the referee's given it, the linesman is facing towards it. There was no reaction from the linesman. I thought very, very harsh originally.
Looks even worse on the replay, you have to say.
He gave it so quickly as well. Didn't have a look at his linesman to say to give it or not, but what an opportunity now for...
And it is going to be the man who's come into the team, Mohamed Darwish, who plays in Germany, to try and put Palestine into the lead against the hosts. It's Darwish against Arid Yasser. Oh, and it's saved! The rebound's put in though, and Daba makes it 1-0. Indonesia behind at home, and it's Palestine who, after all of their shots on target in the first couple of games with that reward, get it a quarter of an hour in, and they lead by probably a deserved goal to 0, although from a very controversial decision.
Well, it's certainly one you think doesn't really deserve to go in because it wasn't a penalty, but what you're taught to do is follow in on everything. Daba does that. Just watch his reaction at the edge of the box there. He's the first one to react. It's 4 Indonesian players just watching. He's the one to react. It's a fantastic save onto the post. You need your goalie to make that, but then you need some help afterwards. And that wasn't the case, but you have to say, that goal has certainly been coming.
Palestine the better side for the first quarter of an hour. They have their reward. But I'll tell you what, there'll be a lot of talk about that decision in the post-match interviews. Luis Milla will not be a very happy man. His side has it all to do. And after just 15 minutes, it's Indonesia 0, Palestine 1.
Well, they haven't started yet. Haven't got into good areas. Little player in the final third that we spoke about before the game.
Touched the ball once, I think.
Yes, they hardly touched the ball.
Now this is that decision from the other angle. Oof, dear, oh dear, oh dear. He might get winded by that in the stomach, but his hand's not going to be hurting.
It's a really poor decision. made worse by given by the referee. You just watch the linesman's reaction. You see where the referee is standing. Gives it straight away.
Well, he looks over at the linesman. There's no signal there whatsoever.
Exactly.
The flag stays down.
He has to look at the linesman. If the linesman puts his flag up, says penalty, or across his chest, what they do as a sign, and it's a penalty.
Well, all focus on that
Yeah,
man.
I think when he looks back on that, he'll be disappointed. Just for me, it was just the quickness that he gave it. It's a big game.
Very important considering it's the hosts as well, but they've all to do. 17 and a half minutes gone and Indonesia behind. Barely got out their own half yet as well. Time for them to settle down, get into the game. There is plenty of time. Of course, there are other matches to come. Palestine, well, if they're to carry this result through to the 90th minute, they will go top and lead by a single point from Hong Kong. They've had a great start here. Long diagonal ball forward. Palestinian with the miscontrol there was the penalty scorer Darwish. Good clearance from Al-Badari, the captain. There's Maulana. This now is Gavin Kwan. Decent ball in. Again, an immediate clamour from the home fans as soon as one of the players goes down. It's going to be a corner.
Just only one Palestine. One Indonesian player in the box, and so it's food and drink for the two centre halves, Telemani and
the reputation they have as well, being so good in the air.
That's when they need to get Maulana on the ball in that number 10 role. Two big centre halves. Any long crosses coming in or any diagonal balls, you expect them to win. Try and get them move out of position.
It's Haryadi's corner. Second low, but behind again. Have another chance. Rashid with a dust touch there.
He's a player of quality delivery. He saw the first goal against Chinese Taipei in their first opening game. The cross came in for Willapal's goal. Disappointed he didn't beat the first man there.
No shortage of incidents in this first 20 minutes. A brief delay here whilst the referee sorts out some pushing and shoving. Those of you who are watching the World Cup, there's no VAR here to sort that out. Again with the delivery, it's headed away by the captain. Hooked straight back in. On its left, hesitation, real opportunity at the back post there. Still going in the centre, Palestine desperately defending. First it was Planata, then it was Jaya. None of them able to put it home.
That's really poor defending from Kitmesh at the far post, just allows it to bounce. You can't do that. All of a sudden they're in danger, but what a challenge there from Telemani to really throw his body in the way.
And cleaning up was Maraba. It will be a third consecutive corner. This time it's Maulana, at number 10 you were talking about the take. In-swinger, decent header, but it's put over. Another opportunity for Planata.
Yeah, great ball in. Planata, he knows he's got to run on it, he's got a free header. Just gets caught underneath it a little bit. The minute they left the boot there, I thought it was a great ball to go and attack.
But that's more like it from Indonesia, isn't it?
They're much better.
He knows that. He began his coaching career as Michael Laudrup's assistant back at Getafe. Good 10 years since those two were together on the outskirts of Madrid. He's been on to coach Spain at youth level and actually went to the London Olympics with their under-23 team before being sacked after they didn't get out of the group. Almost halfway through this first half. It is Indonesia 0, Palestine 1. Controversial penalty decision. And it was eventually converted at the second time of asking, separating the sides. Indonesia, though, seem to have woken up since that goal went in.
That's been a good reaction from the home side. Getting to slightly better areas. Still think they're trying to force it a little bit too much. Just maybe that extra pass in midfield to get them further up the field.
Nugroho, the number 5. Looking to get the ball in. There are two bodies waiting. One of them is Jaya. And it's put behind by Katnish. Another corner to Indonesia.
Great. Good positioning there from the fullback. This is what I was talking about here. Need to see more of this. I know he's got the talent. quality ball in. It's well defended at the far post.
Maulana, who's got 7 goals in 15 matches for Indonesia, but he's trying to provide the assists at the moment. This is Haryadi now. Again with the in-swinger, left-footed. Decent ball, it is again to be attacked, but once more it's Al-Badari who climbs higher. Back it comes again. For the moment, no flag up. The shot in, it's 1-1. And it's been put home by Irfan Jaya. It's his first ever goal for his country. And look at that reaction. Back on level terms, and it's game on.
Well, it's a really well taken goal from him. You got any situations now, you tend to maybe rush your shot, but he doesn't. Talking about keeping the second balls alive, they're so slow to react to come out. Great first touch. It's a really well taken goal. In these situations, you tend to panic a little bit, but he doesn't. You said that they really reacted well from going a goal behind.
Well, they're awake and they're back in the game now. 1-1. And we've got quite a match on our hands to decide who will lead Group A. It's Indonesia 1 at home, hosting the Asian Games. Palestine 1. Remember, both sets of players unbeaten here. Indonesia back in action in 48 hours' time against Laos on their Independence Day on Friday. But they want 3 points in the bag before they get there. And they're back on the right track. Again, the ball's given away. Sloppy play from Palestine. Once more, the ball in the centre. Oh, it's off the post. It's Lily Pali who should have had his 3rd goal. Looks as though the flag's up anyway. And he's a man we've hardly seen.
Oh, he's hardly ever touched the ball. But he's well to react. He just gets a touch here from Gitmash. He's certainly offside when the ball comes in. I thought there was more of a touch on him, but there wasn't.
Jaya, so lively, the man who scored the goal a moment ago. Now setting up another. Time for everybody to take a moment's breath. It has been breathless since that penalty was given. 10 minutes, 2 goals. 20 minutes to go to half-time, and both coaches will be taking stock of what's happened so far, and I think both will have opinions about their sides that have changed quite a bit in those last 10 minutes.
To be careful.
Rashid is already in the book. Referee. His immediate concern is the